Hello all, this is Greg Roth, your Proctor Gallagher consultant, submitting my overview of Lesson 4 of Thinking into Results, The Secret Genie. Life is rather strange. The most important things we never learn is how to make decisions or how to make money. Bob Proctor. I want to add to Bob's message, how to structure our thinking. I think that goes well with this lesson. Did you know that we are quite capable of changing the direction of our lives? Did you know that we all have deep, deep reservoirs of talent and abilities within us? This lesson is all about how to bring those talents and abilities to the surface. One of the factors that keeps us from tapping our true vast potential is we don't have a picture of the mind. How can you fix something you can't see or even imagine? This lesson gives us that picture. Without a picture, it's much more difficult to apply and use our minds effectively. When we create a picture of the mind, as Dr. Thurman Fleet did in 1934 to help his patients heal, we become more effective at improving our thoughts, actions, and results. Why? Because the picture helps clear our thinking and helps bring more order to our otherwise chaotic thoughts. Since I like riding bicycles for exercise, for me, the stick person is like putting handlebars on a bicycle. It helps us steer and direct where our thoughts and results are going. I drew a picture of Dr. Thurman Fleet's 1934 drawing of our mind. It shows how our mind works in two general ways. And here's my lovely drawing. It includes our see, hear, touch, taste, and smell, and also our higher faculties, perception, the will, reason, imagination, memory, and intuition. I love this drawing. These are tools that we can use in our conscious mind especially when we're overwhelmed by our physical thoughts. We can now see what's going on in our mind and also what to do about it if we're dissatisfied with our results. When we use Dr. Fleet's picture, let me adjust my camera, sorry. Life changes become easier for us as well as for those we're working with and mentoring. With this picture, we are able to clearly show and share with people what's going on in our minds. What a fabulous and powerful idea this is. No wonder Bob thought it was so powerful. Lesson 4 also broke down a little further our desired activities and how to make them habitual. We decide what activities we want and write them down, schedule them, and make them happen. When we do that, we repeatedly, using repetition as our friend, we implant the desired thoughts and activities into our subconscious mind, where they become habits for us. Down here. When you get it down here, we create a vibration in our bodies, and the results show up in the world around us. Incredible. These two concepts of identifying our desired activities and making them habitual can make us unstoppable when reaching for our goals. The one requirement is we must put the two concepts together and into use. Robert Russell said, "A habit is God's way of making good automatic in our lives." Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "We become what we think about all day long." That was one of Sandy's favorite sayings, quotes. So let's all think about what we want. If we form and paint the picture of the results we want, the feelings that occur when we're thinking of that goal create the feeling of desire and actions that will carry us into that place. I mean, this just makes too much sense. So using the stick person helps us clearly understand and focus on how to create the picture of what we want and how we can use that picture to avoid the pitfalls of random, useless thoughts ping-ponging around inside our mind. One of my Aikido senseis used to call it monkey mind, where trying to teach us a new behavior, and our mind just went ping, 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 ping. Not where we wanted it to go. But we didn't have a picture. Executives from around the world have changed the direction of their entire companies and the bottom line of their profits by using the stick person drawing. Before that, we were often just treating the symptoms. In the past, supervision sometimes resembled whack-a-mole versus a clear, definite leadership. I can relate to that. Bob made quite a point to talk about mentors in this lesson. They are a key concept we often tend to forget or discount. It's so important for us to see another person using the knowledge and skills we wish to develop. They show us how to do something we can readily emulate. Mentors teach us how they did it from their personal experience on how to succeed, so we can borrow from them what works. I've had very few mentors in my life, but the ones I have had have been a godsend, and Bob has been one of the strongest and best so far. In this lesson, Bob also introduced the idea of examining who am I question. When we begin to explore and answer that question, we naturally begin to take ownership of our results and the directions that we are going. Bob also pointed out how 1% of the population earns 96% of the money. What does that mean for us? Well, it begs the question, what are the 1% doing that we're not doing? All through TIR, Bob is answering that question. As part of answering the question of who we are, now, as answered by one of Bob's mentors, Leland Volvanderwall, he described to Bob how we exist on 3 planes: the spiritual plane, the intellectual plane, and the physical body. Recently, Todd Bowerly, one of our PG consultants, shared that concept of the emotional plane, or a feeling plane, is also likely, maybe perhaps a 4th plane. I'm fascinated and inclined to agree with Mr. Bowerly's extensive and useful observation of that 4th plane. Because the 4th plane, the emotional plane, is what motivates us and gets us moving towards what we want. Thank you for that clarity, Todd. Our job is to integrate all 3 or 4 of these planes to energize ourselves to where we want to go and what we wish to achieve. Before Dr. Fleet's drawing, we had no cells of recognition in the mind. Therefore, trying to change something in ourselves we couldn't see led us to chaotic thinking and frustrating attempts and results. The same lack of understanding holds for individuals, corporations, countries, and organizations. Unless we're all studying the mind, we are not addressing the primary cause of our results, and therefore permanent change is not likely to occur for us or those we serve. This lesson was huge for me. I spent 29 years helping kids in trouble succeed, and I was good at it, but I did not know how to show them clearly and with a definite picture, like I drew for you, what was happening within their minds, or how to help them understand better how to make the changes they wanted lasting and permanent. This picture makes a huge difference in that population's future, or will make a difference when I introduce it to them or to their staff. As a result, many of the kids I worked with, after being released, returned to their prior behaviors and addictions with disastrous effects. Even though they did well in their programs, many are no longer alive today. That's how powerful this drawing is for me. For now, when I help people, I will show them this picture, and I'll make it sure that it changes what they want and that they understand how to get the changes that they want and how to make them permanent. It's pretty clear from this drawing that the mind controls the body controls our behavior, and our behavior determines our results. Bob made it clear throughout this lesson that as humans, our natures are all very similar, but our behaviors vary greatly because we have been programmed genetically, historically, and environmentally. We are mostly carriers of other people's programming, plus our genetics, and yet we often think we are in control of ourselves. Often we are not. We're running on autopilot. If we're going to help other people using this material, we must study and use this ourselves and be able to understand and grasp these concepts to teach others how to use the principles in their lives. If we don't do that, they will know, and we won't have the impact that we desire. Once we've passed on this learning to our people and organizations, they can then pass this pass these gifts down to future work generations and within their own families. This is a world-changing concept, I believe. And I believe Bob and for sure Sandy knows that as well. I love how the stick person drawing also helps to make clear how our sensory factors influence our thinking, many times overwhelming us with the input from the outside world. Often we let our sensory factors create a belief system of how we are presently doing versus our potential. When people truly begin to understand how using Dr. Fleet's drawing, it allows us to do some self-reflection and dramatically shift our thinking. These are our sensory factors: see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. Bob often relayed that his dogs had those sensory factors. They can confuse our thoughts. When people begin to understand their mind and how it operates using Dr. Fleet's drawing, it allows them to do some reflection and dramatically shift their thinking. Now people can have more confidence and surety moving directly towards the life they want. I think I need to hire a new technician, video technician. The conscious mind thinks while the subconscious mind executes what's expressed upon it, with and through the body. When we see this stick person picture, we more clearly understand why we act the way we do, and just as importantly, what to do if we want different results. So when you're in a situation you don't like, start to see yourself as the stick person, understand the circumstances you're in and what you want in your life, and apply now what you know. Remember, what's happening on the outside of us accurately reflects what's going on the inside. Are you thinking of improved results or the status quo? What I came away with most in this lesson is it energized me to make positive changes, a habit I will carry with me for the rest of my life. Thank you, Bob, for researching how you succeeded and sharing it with us. I am forever grateful. So, Tracy, Natalie, Elizabeth, Sandy, Dave, whoever watches this, thank you for supporting your consultants' success and the people they serve. Thank you for sharing the opportunity to share these thoughts on Thinking into Results, Lesson 4. Signing off.